Got my niece's '08 Honda Sonata, little 2.4 cylinder engine here, and it's overheating when you're driving. There's no leaking anywhere. The top hose gets hot, the bottom hose does not get hot. They're supposed to be the same temperature. She has heat and she has air conditioning, but when you drive the car, it overheats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the radiator and see if that radiator is clogged or the bottom hose is clogged, and kind of flush the system out a little bit. And I'm going to end up changing the thermostat. So following this top hose usually leads you to the thermostat. It's probably going to be the second hose on the bottom down there. We're going to have to remove this air intake out of the way, and I may just move the battery out of the way just for the sake of it, to give myself more room to work. And hopefully by flushing the system out and changing the thermostat would help the problem here. It's not skipping or misfire or anything like that, so I don't think it's a head gasket or anything like that. So let's get into this and see what we find. So we removed the 4 bolts on that front part of that skid plate there, 10mm socket, and right there you can see the drain plug, and it's draining right down into the bottom of the pan. And I got the radiator cap loose so it can flow out faster. So while that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and take apart the top, the air filter. So we loosed it from the throttle body, 10mm. We loosed it from the air filter up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 4 bolts to hold the air filter case in here. Actually 3 here, and then 1 right there. See if I could, where's my, yeah, 1 right there. And then the computer is attached to it, so we're going to pull it up and lay it over on the side. So we got the air cleaner out of the way with the computer on it. We just put it behind the strut that holds the hood up, and if you look, just like I thought, here's the thermostat. It's going to be right here, 1, 2, 3 bolts, and I think that might do it. There's 2 lines attached to it. I don't believe I have to remove this hose off, but the radiator fin is emptying out, so there may be a little bit to come out of there. So we'll get these 3 bolts loose and we'll see what happens here. So the thermostat got 3 12mm bolts. These 2, one to go here and one to go here, is short, and then we got the long bolt that goes on the bottom. Now we're gonna pull this outward. Wait, I see 1 more bolt right there. So let me get to that. Let me show you where that bolt is. Right there. So let's get that bolt out of there, and then we're gonna pull the thermostat off. Okay, so the bolt that goes in there is gonna be the longest. So we got a real long one there, and the next longest, and the other 2 short ones go right there. Alright, we got the thermostat back in, we got the bolts back in place, and I did do a little bit of flush. Nothing really came out, so it may have just been the thermostat sort of in a halfway stuck position, more closed than open. So hopefully this will resolve the issue, and we're going to put everything back together, and we're going to make sure we bleed the coolant system, get all the air out of it, and pressurize it, make sure it's not leaking, and run it, see it, and make sure we get heat and everything, and take it for a ride, see if we solve this overheating issue. So far it looks good. The distance that I used to drive the car, we would already be overheating, and she hasn't even gone to half temperature yet. So that's a darn good sign right there. So that lower radiator hose was clogged up, so I flushed the radiator out real good, flushed the heater core system out real good, put the new thermostat in there, I bled the system real good, and I jacked it up as I was bleeding it, because air tends to be at the highest peak. So I jacked it up in the front so the air it's going to go through the heater coil and get all the air out of the system. There's no leaks, and she's not going above half so far, and I've gone more than 1/3 the distance than I normally went before the car would start to overheat while we're driving. And like I said, she's not even really at half yet, so we're looking pretty good so far. So I think we might have this solved. She's staying right under half there. So I'll go make another round and see if she stays at half. So here we are. I'm going around again for the second time, and usually by the time I get right here, she's already on H high, and I got to turn the heat on to get it to come down. So this is my second time around, and she's never went to the halfway mark. She stays one line below the halfway mark. When we stop at stoplights, like one we get ready to come to right here, but this is a turn on red, so nothing's coming, and we can go ahead and make our turn. And so I'll say that this is successful. We have solved the overheating issue. So it was a portion of the radiator clogged, because I had to take the hoses off from that and flush the radiator out, and then I had the thermostat out and went through the hose and let it go through the thermostat area and flush all the stuff out of there. And then the heater core, took the line loose from there and let it blow out through there. And then I blew a line out from where the thermostat is through the bottom hose and got all the gook out of there. So yeah, she's stayed one line below half, which is good. So job well done. Rev it up. Car Fanatic Productions. 08 Hyundai Sonata 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. And that is how you troubleshoot an overheating issue. So like I said, we did pressurize the system. There was no leaks anywhere, and the water pump was good, so we didn't have to worry about that. And so from there, you just go through everything else. And since I was flushing the coolant system out, she had a thermostat. We put the thermostat in, and I guarantee you that's going to help as well. Well, anyway, God bless. Give us 2 thumbs up. Hit that like button and subscribe. Have a blessed day.